So, you want to go pro in Fortnite? I get it. Fortnite is one of the most competitive games out there, and if you're watching this, you probably have the mindset of a true gamer. But here's the thing, going pro isn't just about having some insane mechanics or being able to hit crazy shots. It's about knowing the game inside out, developing a consistent playstyle, and making smart decisions. Whether you're grinding ranked mode or jumping into tournaments, these tips will give you the power you need to rise to the top. And in this guide, I'm going to break down everything you need to take your Fortnite game to the next level. And I'm going to show you how to focus on your game sense, master mechanics, and stay sharp in tournaments. So let's dive into it. Step 1. Have good game awareness. Before you even start talking about your sensitivity settings, keybinds, or building strategies, you need to master game awareness. This is what separates the pros from the casuals. You can have perfect settings, insane mechanics, but if your game sense is lacking, you're not going to go far. Look at Asian Jeff. Game awareness is everything. Knowing when to fight, when to rotate, and when to be aggressive versus when to play it safe. And here's how you can sharpen your game awareness. Number 1. Know the map like the back of your hand. If you don't know where the best loot is, where you'll most likely run into opponents, and where the storm is going, you're already at a disadvantage to most players. In Chapter 6, spend time familiarizing yourself with the new map. Knowing the locations of chests, loot spawn areas, and natural cover will help you decide where to land and how to move across the map efficiently. Also make drop maps and look for the best possible drop spot for you as a solo or as a trio. Take note of high traffic areas and low traffic areas, also known as dead side or the center of zone. And if you're good at fighting, you can drop into more contested areas and fight more people. But if you want to avoid early game chaos, you might want to head to some smaller POIs or non-named POIs that is less crowded. Knowing when to pick a fight and when to avoid it is a huge part of your game awareness too. Number 2, rotations are everything. One of the key parts of game awareness is knowing when and how to rotate. Early in the game, you have the freedom to explore and loot, but once the storm starts closing in, you need to plan your rotations carefully. Poor rotations are a fast trick to being eliminated, especially rotating exactly through the center of the zone. Good rotations aren't just about moving from point A to point B, they're about moving smart. Use natural cover, especially in like zero build, so that you don't get caught out in the open. If you're in a fight and the storm's moving, you have to make the call. Do you finish the fight or do you dip and rotate? These decisions need to be made quickly and without hesitation like the pros. You should also watch pros like Booga or Miro for how they manage their rotations. They know how when to rotate early to position themselves for the end game, and they're also great at timing their moves in and out of fights. Number 3, don't forget about the Storm Surge. If you ever played in a Fortnite tournament, you know how brutal Storm Surge can be. For those who don't know, Storm Surge happens when there are too many players alive in the safe zone. The game forces players to take damage if they haven't dealt enough damage to opponents. If you're not tagging players during your rotations or early fights, you could end up taking storm damage and being eliminated without ever getting a chance to fight back and or getting the win. And make sure you're always taking shots at enemies during rotations or when you're boxed up. Even if you don't have a clean shot, tagging opponents can keep you from getting tagged by Storm Surge. Don't underestimate the importance of this mechanic. It's a huge factor in competitive Fortnite, especially in major tournaments. And 4, endgame awareness. Stay calm and plan your moves. Endgame is where things get insane and your game awareness will be tested the most. The number of players left is low, sometimes high, usually very low at the end, but the pressure is through the roof. Knowing how to manage your mats, stay high ground, and position yourself for the final fights are critical. Pro players like Clix are masters of endgame, and a lot of it comes down to how well they maintain and control their builds and height. Practice your tarping and manage your materials, and know how to rotate efficiently and effectively when the circle is about to collapse. Make sure you're always aware of the players around you and have an escape plan in case things go south. Now, step 2. Master your mechanics. Now that your game awareness is on point and you're working on it, it's time to focus on your mechanics. This is where the real grind happens. You can have the best game sense in the world, but if you don't know how to build, edit, and aim like a pro, it's all for nothing. Number 1, building. The foundation of Fortnite. Building is the heart of Fortnite. Whether it's to get high ground, defend yourself, or escape an enemy, you need to be able to build quickly and efficiently. Spend hours in creative mode practicing advanced techniques like tunneling, high ground retakes, and piece control. And if you're not comfortable with building fast, you'll struggle in high-level games. Use maps like Raiders 464's mechanics training to help develop your skills. These structured training maps are great for practicing specific moves like editing walls or building structures under pressure. 2. Editing. Speed equals survival. Speed in editing is just as important as speed in building. You need to be able to edit quickly to catch your opponents off guard, create new windows of opportunity, and maintain control of fights. Start by mastering simple edits like window edits and ramp edits, then move on to more complex edits like triple edits, quad edits, and use editing maps like Raiders to push your limits and improve your editing speed. Number 3, aiming. Precision is key. Aiming is underrated in Fortnite. You can have perfect builds and edits, but if your aim is off, you're going to miss shots. Get into training maps like Aim Labs or 1v1 Duel to work on your flick shots and tracking. It's not just about reaction time, it's about consistency. For control players, use linear settings and tweak your aim assist strength until you find what works for you. You want to make sure your aim is smooth, but also responsive enough to hit fast-moving targets. 4. Consistency, the pro's secret. The best pros aren't just fast, they're consistent. You need to be able to execute your mechanics flawlessly every time. Consistency comes from hours of practice and developing muscle memory. Make sure you're putting in the work to make these skills automatic. The more you practice, the less you'll have to think about your builds or edits, and the faster you'll be able to react to opponents. And we're going into step 3 now, which is understand the meta and game sense. Being a good player is all about adapting to the game's meta. Fortnite is constantly changing with new weapons, new map locations, and changes to building mechanics. Understanding the meta will help you stay on top of the competition. 1. Know the best weapons and items. Each season there are changes to the loot pool. Some weapons and items get buffed, while others get nerfed. The key to being competitive is knowing which weapons are meta and which ones aren't worth your time. Don't carry too many healing items if you can't afford to drop damage dealing weapons. You want to be able to fight effectively at any distance. 2. Adapt your strategy. Fortnite is constantly evolving, so your strategy needs to evolve with it. If you're used to playing aggressive, but the meta is more about positioning and building or placement, then you need to adjust. Being adaptable and staying on top of patch notes will give you an edge over players who are too rigid in their playstyle. Now we're heading into step 4, which is pick the right drop spot. Choosing the right drop spot is a key part of your game sense. You need to land in a place that gives you good loot while also minimizing risk. Some parts are more contested, but others have less loot. You need to find that open balance. Step 5. Grind ranked mode. Once you've got your mechanics and game sense down, it's time to take your skills into ranked. Ranked is your best training and ground outside of actual tournaments. It's where you'll face tougher opponents, improve your decision making under pressure, and really level up your gameplay. Number 1. Climbing the ranks. Ranked mode is all about placement points. If you go for kills every match without thinking about positioning or surviving until late game, you won't rank up as fast. Sure, getting eliminations is fun, but consistency is key. Focus on surviving and getting to the end game. The higher you climb, the tougher the competition, and that's where you'll truly start seeing the improvements in your gameplay. As you rise through the ranks, you'll notice your matches getting more intense. You'll be facing players who are serious about winning, which forces you to adapt and improve faster than you would in casual games. Use this as your training ground to experiment with different strategies. Number 2. Don't rush fight. Ranked mode is full of third parties, and that can be a real pain if you don't manage your fights well. Don't rush every single encounter. Think about whether it's worth engaging in the fight or if you'd be better off waiting for the other player to duke it out while you rotate and secure a better position. In ranked, you often get third partied, which can completely mess up your game if you don't have a clear strategy for how to fight. Sometimes it's better to be a little bit more patient and let the other players battle it out and then swoop in for the cleanup. That extra time you can take can make a huge difference in your overall performance in your games. Number 3. Learn from your losses. Every loss in ranked mode should be treated as a learning experience. Don't rage quit. Instead, review your gameplay. What went wrong? Did you mismanage your materials? Did you take a fight when you should have just rotated out? By identifying these mistakes and fixing them, you'll make rapid progress. Even pro players have bad games, but it's all about learning them and improving for the next time. Step 6. Watch and learn from the pros. One of the best ways to level up your game is to watch the pros. Fortnite's competitive scene is stacked with insane talent, and there's a lot to learn by watching how the best players operate. Also, the gameplay in the background is many pro players playing. So, what should you do? VOD reviews and stream watching. Or by watching VOD reviews of pro players. These reviews break down their decisions, rotations, and fights so you can see exactly why they made certain plays. Pay attention to how they manage their materials, when they choose to fight, and how they rotate. Learning from somebody who's already a pro will help you speed up your own progress. Also, watch live streams of Fortnite pros like Clicks. It's one thing to watch their VODs, but seeing their live gameplay gives you the opportunity to witness real-time decision making. The more you watch, the more you'll begin to pick up on the little details that make the difference between winning and losing. 2. YouTube guides and tutorials like this one. There are also a ton of YouTube channels that break down competitive strategies and mechanics. Channels like Ken Beans, Driving TV, and Roadie Bros offer high-quality tips that can take your game to the next level. They break down specific strategies, teach you new tricks, and explain how to adapt to different playstyles of Fortnite. Make sure you're watching these videos and incorporating the tips into your own gameplay. Also, I have a lot of videos on my channel as well, but I'm just putting out some of the main YouTubers you guys would watch if you're trying to improve your gameplay. Step 7. Play in tournaments. Nothing pushes you to improve faster than actually playing in tournaments. The competition is fierce, and you'll face some of the best players in the world. This is where you'll really prove whether or not you have got the skills to make it as a pro. 1. Smart. Start small, then go big. If you're new to competitive Fortnite, start with solo and duo cash cups. Even though they don't have duo cash cups anymore, just go for solos. And FNCS trios. These tournaments give you real competitive experience without the massive stakes of big tournaments like FNCS. FNCS trials was more not really like an FNCS. It was just kind of a thing, and you can slowly go up the ring. You'll get a feel for the pressure and get at managing nerves. If you guys want to learn how to stay calm in every fight or anything ever in Fortnite, I have a video on my channel on how to stay calm, so make sure you guys go watch that after this video. And once you've gained some experience and confidence, it's time for aim for FNCS. This is where the top players in the world compete, and it's the ultimate proving ground. Getting a good placement here is a big deal and could potentially be the first step toward becoming a full-time pro. Number 2, team chemistry is key. If you're playing in trio tournaments, you need to build chemistry with your teammates. It's not just about having good individual players, you need to work together like a well-oiled machine. This means practicing together, discussing strategies, and understanding each other's playstyles. The more you play with your teammates, the better you'll become as a team. Team chemistry is what wins tournaments, not just individual skill. You should usually have a fragger, an IGL, and a support player, and if you can't, then you should have 2 fraggers snaggers in an IGL, that's what I recommend in this meta. Step 8. Stay consistent and keep grinding. In Fortnite, consistency is what separates the best from the rest. You can have one amazing game where you go off, but if you can't replicate the success over and over again, you won't stay at the top for long, like I've said in previous tips. So how you do this is by daily practicing. To stay at the top, you need to practice every day. This doesn't mean just mindlessly playing game after game. Split your time between practicing in creative and playing real matches. Use creative to work on your building, editing, and aim, then hop into actual matches or rank mode to put what you've placed to the test. Consistency is the key to improvement. 2. Warm up before matches. Before jumping into serious matches, always make sure to warm up for 15 to 30 minutes. This helps you get into the right mindset and make sure your mechanics are sharp. Play aim maps or practice building and editing drills so you're ready to go when the match starts. Warming up also helps you prevent getting frustrated or making sloppy mistakes due to not being fully warmed up. 3. Take breaks to avoid burnout. It's easy to get caught up in the grind, but remember to take breaks. If you're feeling tilted or exhausted, you're not going to perform at your best, and taking short breaks during your sessions to keep your mind fresh and sharp is a need. If you've been playing for a while and start feeling frustrated, it's better to step away for a bit and come back later with a clear head. Step 9. Build your brand. If you want to make it as a Fortnite pro, you need to build your personal brand. It's not just about having good gameplay, it's about getting noticed and creating opportunities for sponsorships, partnerships, and more. Option 1 for this is to start streaming. Streaming on platforms like Twitch or YouTube is a great way to show off your skills, even if you don't have a huge following. Streaming is a powerful tool to grow your brand. You get to connect with fans, showcase your gameplay in real time, and even network with other players. Build a consistent schedule for your streams and interact with your audience to grow community. 2. The second way to grow your brand is use social media to your advantage. Posting clips on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok can help you get noticed by Fortnite community, share your best moments, highlight your wins, and engage with the Fortnite community. The more you interact with people, the more visibility you'll get. Over time, you'll build a following that can help you push towards the next step in your pro career, also getting noticed by other pros to hopefully put you in their team. 3. Create YouTube content. YouTube is another excellent platform for building your brand. Post gameplay highlights, tutorial videos, or even breakdowns of your tournament experiences, and a well-edited video can gain traction and help you stand out. It's not just about streaming, it's about building a consistent content creation presence across multiple platforms. And 10, the last step, never stop improving. Finally, the most important step in becoming a Fortnite pro is never stop improving. Fortnite is always changing, and so should you. So what I recommend is having a mindset that makes you stay hungry. Even if you start winning tournaments and getting recognition, don't get complacent. The best players always keep their hunger for improvement. Always look for ways to get better, whether that's working on your mechanics, learning new strategies, or improving your mindset. Next great way is networking with other pros. Finally, surround yourself with the other dedicated players, join Discord servers, practice in scrims, and talk to pros in the community. Surrounding yourself with the like-minded individuals will push you to be better. Plus, you'll learn a lot from other players who are on the same path. There you have it. If you follow these steps, grind consistently, and keep improving, you'll be well on your way to going pro in Fortnite Chapter 6, maybe even Chapter 7 if it's not your season. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Stay focused, stay hungry, and keep grinding. Good luck out there. And if this video helped you in any way, make sure to like and subscribe and use code NOTFLOW in the Fortnite item shop, and also go play some creative maps to help you get better at the game. Also, this will be my last month of posting content, so if you guys really do enjoy my content, make sure to go check out some of my other videos. I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, guys.